everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. I'm your host, Scott Steen, lead handicapper at WHINERS.
I'm your co-host, Scott Rochelle, senior handicapper over on WHINERS.com.
And together we do this every single day, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, helping you in that journey to head back to the window. Today's Torture Rochelle song was I Love It by, do you know who that is?
No idea.
Icona Pop featuring Charlie XCS.
Okay. I know the song. I cannot tell you I ever would have guessed who it was.
Oh, it's such a terrible song. It's the I crashed my car into the bridge and I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly good advice for you young drivers out there. JC Stone says, "Nice farm rocking chair." That's a way we like to give them out, isn't it, buddy?
It was. Bam Adebayo looked like the rest of the Heat team last night.
I was like, I was watching the game. I turned it on like the end of the first quarter. I watched it at the end of the second quarter. Adebayo gets a offensive rebound and puts the dunk in. I'm like, oh shit, that's not good. And they go, well, that's his first 2 points for tonight. Second quarter's halfway down. I'm like, okay, that's a good thing.
All I know is that I saw Miami was up 18-10, took a shower, came back. Boston was up 25. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yep,
that's how that went.
There you go. Super Sly in the house. James Mounts, he's here. Classic. What's up, buddy? Good to be here. Good to be with all of you all. Quick reminder, little show note, there will be no NASCAR show this week. We're taking the week off for the All-Star break. So, are you bummed out about that?
No. I mean, overall, I think I'm in first place.
You're in first place in money. You have been overtaken on points.
Okay, well, points has not been going that well the last couple of weeks, but the money's what counts. I know that you are, I'm assuming, a close second at this point.
I'm getting there.
Close-ish.
I'm plus 18 units now, so okay. I'm up.
Cool.
I'm happy.
I forgot what I'm at. I think I'm at like 30 something.
Yep, I think you're 32 right around there.
All
so
right. Cool.
There you go. Scott Nowak checking in. Happy Friday. Scott hit a big parlay the other day. Well done to you, Scotty. And happy Friday to you too as well, Scott. You got big plans as well. You're flying to Vegas on Sunday, right?
On Sunday, but I have a friend who flew in from California who I'm actually going to be hanging out with for the next couple days.
Why don't you just meet him in Vegas?
Because I'm going by myself to Vegas. He randomly decided to fly over, and I didn't tell him I was going to Vegas.
Oh.
But he's coming for like a couple days. He was in college with my roommate, and we've met several times. We get along, so we've been hanging out.
Okay, cool. The sports better?
Somewhat. Not really, but mostly just hanging out.
All right, very good. Well, have a great weekend. Hope that's fun for you, and hope Vegas is nothing but profitable. And speaking of profitable, that's what we're trying to be here today. And we want to remind everybody, you know the drill. Don't forget to smash the like button. Get subscribed to the channels, both the Winners and Winers channel and the Max Wagers Network channel. Check out all the great offerings on the Max Wagers Network. Noon o'clock, it's a midday money with Sean Higgs. 1 o'clock, it's Allie Burns. And by the way, Allie Burns should be joining us here later on the show. Scott, what's the odds on Allie being here?
We'll go minus 115.
Minus 115. I was going to say in the minus 120, 125 range. So we're right in the same ballpark for Allie showing up today. 1 o'clock, it's me and Chris doing parlays. 2 o'clock, it's or 3 o'clock rather. 2 o'clock, Chris. 3 o'clock, us.
Yeah.
4 o'clock, Sean Miller doing soccer. And you know what he did yesterday?
What he did yesterday?
F1. F1 yesterday. You think is F1 the second most popular sport in the world?
I think it's up there. I don't really know how well it tracks in like South America and some of these other continents.
Brazilians are monsters for it.
Are they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't know
that. Yep. Well, I'll tell you what the second most popular sport is. Can you guess?
Cricket?
Yeah, got to be.
I was going to say soccer is going to be number 1.
Yep. Cricket's got to be number 2.
Yep.
So yeah, check out Sean Miller, and then of course 5 o'clock. It's Tim and Nick Earl bringing it home with Detroit Lenny.
I'm trying to think of F1. I mean, this year just bet on Verstappen and bet on Leclerc, and they win about 98% of the races this year.
Yeah, it seems to be a 2-man race so far.
Yeah, Hamilton's had a pretty underwhelming season so far.
Hasn't been great. I think he finished 5th or 6th in Miami.
I was going to say he's still a top 10 guy, but when you're arguably the greatest driver of all time, or at least since Schumacher, you should be winning a couple races every month.
Agreed. You ever seen F1 or anything?
I've dabbled. I can't say I've watched it that much. There's too many right turns.
No, I mean live.
For me.
You ever seen it live? You ever been?
No, I know that they had an event in Miami last week, I believe. Some people I know were actually at the event itself, but I can't say I've ever actually been to a race in person.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I've never I've seen
it's going to Vegas in a couple of years, I think.
I've seen Indy cars race at Kansas, just on a tri-oval, but that's not nearly as much fun. But it's one of those things where you get a seat and you get to see about 5 seconds of action in front of you.
Yeah.
I don't know how great it would be to see. I'm sure the event itself and the atmosphere is fantastic, but I don't know how, as far as a viewing experience, I don't know how great it would be unless you're sitting at the.
I can't compare. Once again, I've never been to a NASCAR race. I've never been to an Indy race. I'm assuming NASCAR would be fun in general because you can actually see most of the track.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where when you're in F1, you would just have a bunch of like zigzag. There's just a lot going on.
Yep, absolutely right. Bruce Stewart in the house is what's up. Ain't nothing up, Bruce. We're just getting ready for the weekend. Paul Henshaw reminded everybody to smash that like button. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. And Bruce wants to know our take on the Mavs versus Warriors. I bet we'll be talking about that here in just a minute. But before I do, I want to have Scott remind you of a deal we got going on with the good folks over there at Caesars as we're coming down the home stretch on the month of May. Scott, what do we got happening?
So Caesars still has the risk-free bet up to $1,100 first bet insurance. If you place a first-time wager up to $1,100 and it loses, you get the entire amount back in the form of a free bet. So anytime you can bet on anything and you have a built-in insurance policy, can't really complain too much, can you?
No, it's a beautiful thing. The code is in the description. Spoiler alert, it's ATS wins CZR. You can check that out as well as the link that'll take you right there. So Ninja says, stop scoring. And I know what he's talking about immediately. It's the Cubs and the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I was going to say the wind was blowing out like crazy, wasn't it?
Cranking. 25 gusted up to 35. Absolutely smoking to dead center field. I, of course, said take the contrarian underplay, and it's 2-2 in the top of the third as Wisdom has hit his 7th home run for the Cubbies.
Okay.
The second inning off of Castellanos. So
good for Patrick.
Good luck, Ninja. I you know what? It's a long game. We just need a little dry spell. A little 3-4 inning dry spell. We'll be fine. All right. How'd you do yesterday? You okay?
It was awful as a whole. Good talk, but no, ended up losing in hockey. I had the Avalanche -1.5.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the line might have been a little bit interesting at plus money, but props to St. Louis. I didn't think they'd win the game that handily. Blues responded well. I thought they might have missed their chance in game 1, and instead they played basically a perfect game. So props to St. Louis. Not going to beat myself up over it, but I also had a really bad beat in hockey. I live bet the no goal in the third period of the Lightning Panthers game with about 9 minutes to go.
Okay.
Plus 105. Yeah, Tampa scored with 3.8 seconds left in the period. And I lost. 3.8. Plus 105. It was right there.
And that's no empty net bullshit.
No empty net. It was a tie game at 1-1. Yeah. Wide open guy in front. We'll talk about that in a bit, but you lose a no goal in a period with less than 4 seconds left. Not a fun time.
Bruce says Formula One is insane live. I have a good friend of mine from my trivia team that her husband is English, and they are massive F1 fans. Like, she knows nothing about any other sport and everything about F1. So, yeah, there you go.
My F1 knowledge has gaps. You got Schumacher and now. That's it. That's all I got.
Schumacher, Hamilton, and who's ever winning now. Yeah, that's pretty much.
Schumacher still alive?
I think so.
Because I know he had that serious skiing incident. He's like mostly paralyzed, but I'm not sure if he's still alive or not.
As far as I know, he is.
Okay.
I don't know for sure. The Bennington prop, dude. The Bennington
prop. They lost by 1 save? 2 saves?
No, he had 30.
I was going to say, yeah, it was 32.5. So, yeah, he lost by 3.
Yep.
But St. Louis dominated the game for the first 2 periods, and Colorado woke up. They had a bunch of shots in the third period.
That's it. They did nothing. We were buried in that prop in the first period.
Pretty much.
I think he had 6 or 7 saves in the first period. And just cooked us. I thought we might get a little love there with the empty netters once they pulled the goalie. I thought maybe that St. Louis, that Bennington would have to fend off a few more shots than he did, but No, the Avalanche looked exactly like they did the rest of the game, even with the after they pulled the goalie, and of course St. Louis was able to score the meaningless goal there at the end. Yeah, not great, not ideal at all.
It happens. I could tell the bet was kind of dead as soon as St. Louis got the 5-on-3 to end the second period. I knew it was a wrap at that point.
Amadou Diallo, nice name. Wants to know if the Yankees will have a hard time tonight with the unpredictable New York weather. Well, Scott,
Well,
you're in New York. You want to predict it?
On the bright side, well, you got Keuchel on the mound, and he's been not very good so far this season. Plus, the White Sox as a whole. I mean, if you want to keep throwing Hendricks out for the 9th inning, be my guest, because he's been, can we say awful this season?
Yeah, he's not been good.
He's not been good, and they traded Kimbrel. So I'm not saying Kimbrel was good either, but they don't have a closer. Keuchel's been awful. He's got an ERA of 5.54. However, if you want to actually look at a potential silver lining, in his career against the Yankees, he's actually been pretty good. To go through the numbers against the Yankees.
He also shut him down last time out.
He has a career 2.06 ERA against the Yankees in 10 starts. So the Yankees never hit him. However, I don't know if they're going to need to, because Cortez is still very good, and the White Sox bullpen is easily worse than the Yankees bullpen. So I still like the Yankees. I feel like it's tricky when it comes to what type of prop you want to bet, because I think there is some value on the White Sox first 5. If you think Keuchel can shut down the Yankees once again, he did it once this season. What do you think? Because what's your stance on guys who are awful for an entire year, but historically speaking, dominate an opponent?
I don't. Well, it depends of how much of that team is still intact. With the Yankees, they've got a lot of the same hitters that Keuchel has faced.
Yeah.
Over the last 2 or 3 seasons. So I think you can put some relevance in it. What I put more relevance in is the fact that he shut him down in his last start just 6 days ago, as he gave up no earned, 4 hits, 3 walks in 5 innings. So I like the under. I like the under 8.5 there.
That's what I would look at. I mentioned first 5 for the White Sox. Same philosophy. If you're expecting runs to be at a bit of a premium early on, then take the dog.
Yep. Absolutely true. Especially with that kind of a price on there.
Yep.
Ninja said, or James said, we just needed a few more shots in the last 3 minutes. Yeah, that's once he pulled the goalie. I thought, well, we got a shot. I think we needed 4 shots.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had one stop. Had one save when they pulled the goalie. That's
bunch of block shots in front of the net.
Yep. The defense was probably the biggest factor in that game, right? The Blues.
For
defense.
me, I was really just impressed with how St. Louis was able to completely neutralize the speed of Colorado.
Yep.
And that was the main takeaway in Game 1. Colorado looked like they were just a blur past everybody.
Right.
In Game 2, St. Louis was more physical. They were more focused on staying with their man. And defensively, they put on a clinic. So
I was going to say, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Pick gave out a play and didn't work out. But I recognize that St. Louis played a hell of a hockey game.
Yep, absolutely. Diamondbacks hit a home run. God damn it. They hit 2, Peralta and Rojas.
It's a bad sign for the Cubs when their number 1 starter peaked on opening day.
Sometimes contrarian plays work out really well. It's 11.5, wind's blowing out. But, if you can keep the ball on the ground, don't put a lot of them up there in the air. I can see this one going under. Go ahead and make a contrarian play. And then they go out and they just start launching them into the fucking wind. You go, well, that's exactly the way it was supposed to go. So it's like poker, Scott. Don't tap the glass. Sometimes the fish got to win. Sometimes you got to hit that 8-outer on the river.
And it's a pop-up. No. Too high. No, it's too high.
Too high.
It's pretty much this. The wind's just taking it all over the place.
All right, man. So it's Friday. Let's wrap up the week and find out what happened yesterday. There was some tough beats out there. We're not going to lie. Scott already told you one of them. We got some other ones fired up when you're ready to go. Let's find out on the Friday edition who was the winners, who's the whiners, who had to get out their Nokia flip phone and call the cops. I don't know why I always ascribe a flip phone to people that have to call the cops. I guess it's just because they're so broke after they lose that one.
A flip phone?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. The flip phone. Have you ever owned a flip phone?
Yes. I had an NV2, which was like the open up full keyboard type of phone back in like 7th grade, I think.
Okay. All right. Very good.
NV2, hell of a phone.
Who made that? Who made that?
Verizon.
Oh, okay.
I still have it. It's in
Nice.
some lockbox back in my my mom's place.
Okay, very good. Hey, speaking of the Royals, if you had the Royals yesterday and expected an offensive explosion, well, number one, what's wrong with you? But number two, you might have picked a good spot because if you had over 4.5, you're in great shape. They scored 4 runs in the first 3 innings. Nobody can stop the Royals. You can't break them up, except what? That Chicago White Sox bullpen that had been shit pretty much the whole rest of the year. But yesterday, they did the job because the Royals finished with 4 runs. Oh, if you had team total over 4.5 there, for God's sakes, call the cops.
And looking at the Astros, team total under 4.5 against the Rangers. They had 2 runs with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th, bases loaded. And of course, the Astros are the home team. So if they get out, they might not need to bat in the bottom of the 9th. So just get one more guy out, and they did not. Houston hit a 3-run double, clear the bases. They finished with 5, and they won the game 5-1.
Knock it off. Knock it off.
I think it was Maldonado, who had that 3-run double.
Oh, even worse.
I think.
Finally, at Crystal Palace, plus a half a goal against Everton. And hey, who didn't? They led 2-0 in the 53rd minute. Well, that sounds like a pretty good lead, Scott.
No red card.
No red card, but Everton, the offense woke up a little bit. 3 unanswered goals. Crystal Palace, they had no more goals. They lose 3-2. If you had Crystal Palace plus a half there, for God's sakes, call the cops.
I think that game is a perfect example of why relegation is such a great idea for sports. Because Everton, who's been a decent Premier League team for a while, can't say they've been amazing, but they're usually mid-table, maybe slightly above. They've had an awful year. And because of the 2-0 comeback at home yesterday in the second half, they officially cleared themselves of any relegation threats. So Everton went from the abyss down 2-0 at home to the fans storming the pitch with 6 minutes left in the game because they took the go-ahead lead, and they held on, and they are officially clinched into the Premier League next season.
That's like if Ted Lasso season 1 ended the way I thought it was going to end.
Yeah, they just gave up a counterattack after scoring the goal. I mean, come on.
Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing, guys?
Rookies.
I'm telling you. There was some good news out there, Scott. It wasn't all bad. It wasn't all flip phones. Some people had the what are we up to now? The 13, the iPhone 13,
something like that. They started using some Roman numerals in there. I kind of checked out.
Yeah, that's what I still got the 10X, the 10X Pro or whatever. But anyway, there was some good news. You know who you are. You had a nice, easy Thursday evening. No sweat for you because, my friend, you were sitting in the rocking chair.
So, first one, if you had the under 6.5 in the Blues Avalanche game, it was 6.5. There were only 2 goals entering the third period. Couple of empty netters, but it didn't matter anyway. Game landed 5.
And we talked about this game a little bit. If you had the Celtics +1 against the Heat, once Scott got out of the shower, everything was great.
Yep.
The Celtics go from down 8 to up 25 at halftime. Good news, Heat fan. You played them even in the second half. Bad news, you were down 25 at halftime. They lose by 25.
And the last one, if you had the Padres and Phillies under 8, Darvish was dealing because he gave up no runs. You had 2 total runs in the 4th inning, no runs in the other 8 innings, and the game ended 2-0.
All right, very good. Well, Scott, I'm sure this is going to be a tough segment for you, but we're going to have to do it.
It was such a good bet too. It was such a good bet. Sometimes
we drink our own Kool-Aid, my friend, and sometimes there's a gambling hero, and then sometimes there's a gambling villain. But we'll keep a positive spin here and find out who it was. Scott, who was last night's gambling hero of the day? I've never wanted to hand off the honors more to you than I do right now. Go ahead, sir.
So we're going to go back to the Lightning and Panthers game, which I talked about earlier. And yeah, I mentioned on the show yesterday, I thought the Florida team total of 3.5 was a joke. I thought Tampa was alive to win the game, and I thought Florida was overrated. Unfortunately for myself, I was right on all 3 accounts, and yet I still lost money because I had the no-goal third period, and you ended up seeing a Ross Colton, Tampa Bay Lightning forward, who found himself wide open in front of the net in a 1-1 game less than 4 seconds left. Kucherov no-look pass behind the net, and Colton scored the game-winning goal with 3.8 seconds left in regulation. The Lightning were plus 140 on the money line.
Scott, how do you let that happen? How do you have a defensive lapse like that late in the game? It's like letting somebody get behind you for the Hail Mary at the end of a football game. How does that
Pretty
happen?
much. As I was watching it, of course, I'm yelling at the TV, just give me one more clear, one little lob out of the zone, and I win. But what happened was that Kucherov went behind the net to get the puck. He had a defender that was chasing him to his right, and there was a defenseman to the left, and he decided to try to go for a bit of a sandwich on Kucherov, try to pin him up against the glass, and in doing so, he abandoned his post in front of the net. He did not make contact with the puck, did not make contact with Kucherov, and did not make contact with the player wide open in front of the net. And next thing you know, you lose the game. So I'm going to blame it on the defenseman that ended up trying to rotate over late. You can argue they should be switching, but the guy shouldn't have moved. There's 3 seconds left. I don't know why you're even chasing the guy behind the net. Should have just stayed with him in front, and he did not.
All right, kind of reminds me of the missed tackle in the New Orleans Minnesota game a few years back. But was it Diggs that caught that ball? Wasn't it?
Diggs caught the pass. It was Marcus Williams,
I think so.
who went for the hit stick and missed completely.
Just completely. Yep.
Yeah.
So there you go. Sorry, buddy. Sorry.
Happens.
We had to do it.
Plus 105.
I know. Yeah.
Also, I don't know why you're apologizing. I'm the one who made the sheet.
Yep. Fair enough. Just have to relive that.
Still a great moment, you know. I mean, especially since if you want to just compare the two playoffs, can we say the NBA playoffs have kind of sucked
compared to the hockey?
I know that
they sure
I was going to say,
well,
hockey playoffs are always better, so that's just a given. People don't want to admit, but you look at the NBA. You had the Tatum buzzer beater, and you had the Horford putback after the buzzer in that game against Milwaukee. But the best moment, so to speak, in the last couple of weeks was what? The Suns getting blown out by 30 on their home floor in Game 7. We haven't had really any close games over the last couple of weeks. So
yeah, no, the Game 7s have been duds.
I'll tell you what, if you've been on the right side of games and you've been taking alternative spreads, you've probably made a killing.
You're killing it. I'll tell you why I do enjoy the hockey, and especially like in overtime. There's no sport that compares to hockey overtime because the game can literally change in 5 seconds. If you don't clear it successfully, or if you get a breakaway
penalty,
all of a sudden a penalty. But I mean, you can go from on the defensive to a 2-on-1 break in the fucking blink of an eye, and that doesn't happen in any other sport. You know, in baseball, you got guys coming up for at bats and all the pitches. In basketball, you don't have dramatic moments like that unless it's at the very end of the game. The same goes with football, and they're fucked up overtime, which I guess they're finally trying to fix or whatever. But there's nothing like hockey overtime where it can just change on a dime.
I think the most underrated part of hockey overtime, and it's also why soccer is so popular, no commercials during overtime, which I think is huge in terms of flow. And the NBA, we have not really had many overtime playoff games up to this point.
Right.
In fact, I'm trying to think of how many we've even had.
2?
I can't even remember any of them.
I thought one went to overtime.
I'm trying to even remember which series had an overtime game in it.
You talking about the hockey?
No, I'm talking about in the NBA.
No overtime.
We've had 0 overtime games, right?
Yeah, no.
But you're looking at the NBA, and the issue you run into, besides the fact that the games are blowouts, with all the foul calls and all of the commercials, the flow is completely shot. And the NHL does a very good job of limiting the commercial breaks, making sure that there's some type of rhythm to the game. And in overtime, you might not like the random pan shots over to the bench and to the whatever. It's much better than seeing a bunch of commercials.
Agreed. David Good said NBA playoffs are like watching or are so slow. It's like watching the Royals are more exciting. That's a backhanded compliment for sure. And Bruce brings up something interesting. Losing by 35 in the NBA playoffs is ridiculous. It never used to happen. Something is wrong with that.
It would happen around 1 because you'd have the 1 against the 8, and you know the 8's going to get their ass kicked. They're just happy to be there. But for the most part, in the second round and onward, you should not be losing by 30 The Phoenix one's an all-timer, so I feel like that's a separate category because they lost by 30 at home in a winner-go-home game, which is almost impossible to do. But seems like a lot of games have been one-sided, and home court advantage doesn't mean as much as it used to for whatever reason.
Agreed. Tommy Kidd put up some great stats there. I'm not going to go through them all, but great about the stats on the Astros total. But we've got big news, Scott. We got big news here on this Friday. Pay those tickets, buddy. Minus 125. Forget about it. Cash those.
There was some late money. It closed to 135.
There you go. You know her. You love her. Every day she gives you morning wood. It's the one, the only, direct from Las Vegas. It's the plus money honey. It's Allie Burns.
What's happening, guys?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm busy today, man. I did morning wood. I did free pick videos. Now I'm here. The AC guy's coming. I got 2 total chaoses tonight. I got stuff going on.
And you'd hit that, right?
Huh?
You'd hit that.
It's my table tennis shirt. I'd hit that.
Outstanding. Scott, it makes our farm hats look silly by comparison, doesn't it?
I don't know how you found all the time to do that and to steal that hat from Pharrell.
I love this hat. This is my sports betting hat. I got a couple of these.
Nice.
I mean, they're all different, but I've got a couple.
The only thing you're missing is a pipe when you're writing on the back of the sheets.
I've got a pipe.
I'm saying you just start writing down notes.
Does that count?
I've got a pipe. It's 3 foot long. It's glass. It stands upright. Does that count? Does that
give me 1 second. Hold on.
I heard you can fill it with water.
Where's she going?
I don't know.
I always have to run away and get something. I actually do have a pipe.
More than any person I've ever seen. What is that?
Look how it's a pipe. Look how cool this pipe is, though.
I don't think you can show that.
It's John F. Kennedy. I don't smoke out of it.
You have a John F. Kennedy pipe?
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. I was not expecting that reveal, but it does look like him. So props to the designer.
Ask not what your pipe can do for you. Ask what you can do for your pipe.
Your pipe cannot afford to be materially rich and spiritually poor. I'm on coconut today, Tommy. I'm on coconut juice today.
Who the hell?
Coconut juice or water?
Well, they call it water, but it's juice.
Okay, sure. Call it whatever you want.
Are you in Vegas right now, or did you leave?
No, I'm leaving on Sunday.
Okay. Do you want to meet up and have a drink?
Sure. Sounds good.
Let's do it.
Fantastic. So your air conditioner is out in Vegas. How's that working out?
No, it's not out. I'm switching to like the smart air conditioner, like the smart thermostat thing.
If you had the stupid air conditioner up until, call it stupid air conditioner.
This whole time, I've had this idiot air conditioner this whole time.
Fucking air conditioner. God damn it.
Pinche. Yeah.
Or the same one that told you to take the Royals yesterday, huh?
Did I take the Royals yesterday?
No, I'm just kidding.
I might have.
I was trying to think of the worst pick yesterday that your stupid air conditioner might have given you.
I'm on the Royals today. I got them on the run line and the money line.
Okay. God bless you. What do you like about that game? Somebody asked us about that game earlier. Tell us what you like about that game.
Higgs liked it. Yeah, Sean Higgs liked it. I'm still in my tank roll thing. So I'm still trying to tank the bankroll. And then it went up, and now it's back down. But the Mets got postponed, so I've got one $10 bet left. So give me a good bet here that I can be all in again.
I thought you just go table tennis. What's stopping you?
No. Yeah. I'm not feeling table tennis.
Tommy says that pipe looks like it belongs in National Treasure. I agree.
That'd be cool. I have a ton of John F. Kennedy collectible items. My stepdad was a huge Kennedy person. I'm a big Kennedy person. I probably have more Kennedy books than the Kennedy Library does. Like it's a little.
I doubt that's true. I'm just saying.
I'd be willing to make a small wager, say $10.
I'll take I'll take the Kennedy Library at plus money.
Over me?
No, I'll even lay 140 at the Kennedy Library.
My gosh.
I'm allergic to libraries, so I can't relate,
Yeah, I think you're allergic to books.
It could be.
You have to spend a lot of time in the library in school. Oh no, you were
I did spend a decent amount of time in the library, but it was mostly just because it was a quiet place away from my fraternity where I could actually do some work.
Fair enough.
I wrote a couple articles in that library. People were studying for chem finals and whatever, and I was just writing college football articles. It was really a fun time.
It's not a bad gig.
Not a bad gig at all.
Not a bad gig at all.
Good times. All right, Allie, what are you on tonight besides the Royals? The Royals and Daniel Lynch. Are you a big Daniel Lynch fan?
Not so much.
Okay. That's why you're on.
Not so much. All right, so this is what I got. Most of this is Sean Higgs. Sean Higgs was the guest on Morning Wood today, so I just kind of loaded up on all his picks. And then some of the morning woodies. So I got the Giants.
So wait a minute. Wait. You come on our show and you just give us the highlights of other shows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Of my show. It's the highlight of my show.
Okay. But he has his own. Okay. So he didn't do these on his show. He did them on your show.
Yes.
I'm supposed to be the one phoning it in on this show. That's my role. That's what I'm supposed to do.
I'm going to start a tennis total chaos if you want in on it. I think like next week.
Cool. French Open starts Sunday. Yeah, starts Sunday.
Sunday. Okay. I think we're going to do it next Friday for Sunday or something like that. I was talking to Daniel Henderson about it. But did you guys connect, you and Daniel Henderson?
Yes. We followed each other on Twitter. So I'll reach out to him.
Okay. He's the one who's kind of telling me when and where to do things. But yeah, Oakland A's, I've got them first 5 run line and full game. I got the Marlins. I got the A's run line. I'm heavy on the A's today. And I have no score first inning on the A's. I've got the Cubs. I've got the Cards. And then the rest of that's just futures.
I think I stayed away from everything no run first inning related. I was tempted. And then I saw the wind report for like every ballpark today. And it was pretty alarming. So I decided to stay away.
It's cranking.
Yeah.
I've got them for, I thought I took 2 of them. I take Lenny's Nerfies. Lenny's really, really good at Nerfies. And
Tommy, question. You said the wind is blowing out at Houston 15 miles per hour. Is the roof retractable or is that just a regular roof?
It is.
It's retractable.
I don't know if it's going to be up or down or not tonight. So just keep that in mind when you're going through wind reports for Houston or some retractable roof areas. Keep in mind if it's going to be open or closed.
Yep. Wainwright has won 9 in a row over the Pirates. I love Wainwright today. I love Wainwright every day.
Yeah, he's talk about a guy that's found the fountain of youth there. What is he, 40?
Yeah, we might talk about that game later. I think he's 41 at this point.
Very
the other one I dug was, who was it? It was Fading Manaya.
Manaya?
Yeah.
You're a Jacob Junis guy? I know Steen loves Jacob Junis.
I am not a Jacob
Royals
Junis
legend.
Guy.
Jacob
I'm
Junis.
not a Jacob Junis guy because I'm not a guy.
He's been out. Junis has been outstanding in San Francisco, man.
And what's his name? Isn't that good this year? I liked him last year, but I'm not into him.
Sorry, Sean.
Yeah.
Just not that into you.
Sorry. Tommy, I thought the same thing actually, but I'm just rolling with it. That it should be a little bit of a higher number, but I'm just rolling with it.
Talking about the San Francisco game?
No, the Cardinals game.
Oh. So you're fading Manaya there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I am.
I mean, the thing about Manaya is he's been after a great start, he's been awful. And I mean, he was one awful game, 3 average games, but they've lost 4 straight for him. I don't hate that.
Yeah, I don't need to be involved with that unless I'm on the other side of it, which I am. So
take Junis.
Coincidentally.
Take Junis and his slider. Yeah, we'll see. He seems like a good kid. I wish him nothing but the best. Royals just couldn't unlock him.
Seems to be a trend.
I want it to be a soft J. I want it to be Eunice. It's just how I want it to be.
Eunice?
It could be, you know.
I asked last night on Total Chaos, and they said
I think I always said Junis, so I'm just sticking with it, but it could be Eunice.
I asked last night. They said it's definitely Junis, and I've always said Eunice, but that's an Anchorman thing. Like if there's a J anywhere, I'm usually going to make it a soft J, but because I've watched Anchorman way too many times.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
What the hell is diversity?
And you say you're on the A's, the underdog pick there.
Yeah, I have them first 5 run line. I think it's plus half a run at plus 105. I have them full game run line. I have them on the money line. I've got no score first inning. I've got all kinds of things happening with the A's.
Yeah, that stands out as one of the most head scratching lines of the night. As the Angels, obviously better team. They've got Silseth on the mound, but Blackburn's been really, really good, and the A's are 6-1 in his starts.
Mm-hmm.
So the A's have 16 wins on the season, and this kid's had almost half of them.
It reminds me of last year with the Diamondbacks and Merrill Kelly.
Yeah,
it seemed like they only won when he was pitching.
Right. I think that's a great price. I'm a big fan of whoever gave you that play. Was that a Lenny play?
I think it was Sean Higgs.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Marlins Nerfy now.
Marlins last game has been a score.
Tommy was saying in the chat, yeah.
It's been a Yerfie in 14 of the last 16.
It's no scores minus 170.
No,
that I can't touch. I think the highest I'll go with the no scores probably 130.
Yeah,
That'd probably be my
I'm
ceiling.
about there too. Or 140. If Lenny really, really likes it, I'll go for a 140.
I'll go 140 if you have like a DeGrom or somebody on there, but
Pushing your
that's pretty much it. But I was going to ask, by the way, since I will be in Vegas on Sunday, I checked the weather. It's triple digits. You got any tips?
Stay home.
Stay in
Stay
New
home?
York.
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
Go to Colorado where it's 35 and fucking snowing. It was
Tommy,
80.
so you're saying yes run for the Marlins, right? That's what he's saying to me. Yes run Marlins.
I think he was saying no because he thinks that it's due.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
It's money that's due. Nerfy, Atlanta.
I think he's saying it's happened a lot,
Yeah.
so it's not going to happen this time.
Right.
I think that's-
Okay. I love me and Tommy Kid text like we're on Messenger together. We're friends.
Nice.
We're friends, Tommy. We're Flight of the Conchords best friends. We both watch that show and sing those songs. So
my wife loved that show. I thought it was stupid as fuck.
It's so good.
No,
It's
no.
so good. Man, at my gym, they've been playing freaking. Oh my! I have to do this because I'm on the elliptical, so I'm trying to place where I am. But like White Girls, and then like with Marlon Wayans when he's the baby, and he's like they're trying to steal the diamond. That I'm like getting dumber as I work out watching these movies. I can't even with this little baby banging the mom, and oh my god, it was disgusting.
I know the exact movie you're talking about, by the way, but why are you watching movies at the gym?
Because that's how you do it. It's the cinema room, and you get in there on your elliptical, and you ellip.
I figured you might I figured you might just be a playlist person. But get the earbuds in or the AirPods nowadays, and you just start listening to music. That's what I used to do when I worked out.
Yeah, me too.
I don't do that. I need to watch.
What was the name of that movie?
I know it's like Baby.
No, I don't care.
Somebody, not Baby Daddy.
Somebody will tell
Baby Daddy, but it's like I know exactly what you're trying to say, but I can't remember it. Little Man.
Little Man. Yeah.
I got it. Yeah, I got it. Let's go. Didn't even look that one up. Let's go.
Speaking of music, if that's what you're into, yes, Super Sly. And if you wanted to, I saw Michael Franti last night in Spearhead. I went to that concert at Brooklyn Bowl, and it was freaking awesome. That guy like changed my life in one concert. I'm a new person now. Can you tell? I'm new now.
What sort of changes did you undergo because of that concert?
She has a hat.
Now I'm on coconut water.
Not a hat.
She's got a hat now.
I wear a hat.
Mm-hmm.
I wear a hat, not a visor. I drink Budweiser. I will always quote the Beastie Boys. I will always quote the Beastie Boys when I can. I know. I'm sorry. I just come in here and tell you guys about my day, and I don't.
Speaking of baseball,
about sports.
Bill McDonald likes Robbie Ray over the Red Sox tonight. Red Sox been terrible at home, but they won 2 of the last 3.
I want nothing to do with Seattle. I know that Robbie Ray is still a solid pitcher and all. Boston's finally hitting the ball. Took him about a month, but Story hit 3 home runs last night. He was very solid. The thing is, a lot of people will blindly look at pitching matchups when it comes to breaking down baseball games.
Yep.
I care more about the form the teams are in than the actual pitching matchups. Of course, pitching matters, but you got to find a right price for it. I think Boston's just playing much better baseball than Seattle right now, so I'm really not interested.
Yeah, I'd go with that too. I like trends. I'm a big trend person. So yeah, it's like if the pitcher's got a good trend going, then I can ride with the pitcher's trend. But for the most part, how's the team playing? That guy's not going to be out there the whole entire game.
And baseball especially, because it's such a long season, you're going to have to go through a span of 7 games and just see how they're playing. But Boston at home has started to mash, and Robbie Ray is solid, but I do wonder if Seattle is just, once again, a terrible road team. And it seems like that's the case.
And he has struggled so much his last 2 outings. Or his last 3 outings. 2 of the last 3, but not good. Not good. I love Robbie Ray. We rode him hard last year, but I think I'm going to find other plays for tonight.
Yeah.
I've got like 50 of them if you want something. I'm just kidding.
I think I have 1 play at the moment.
Well, what is it? So I can put my last $10 on it.
I have Draymond under 8.5 points.
Oh, I'm not doing a player prop. That's too much work for me.
That's what I got.
Player props are like, I would be so into player props if it didn't take me so long to freaking find them. And then exactly what you're talking about. Cause like books are different, you'll have over 1.5 RBIs. Mine is at least 2 or something, the verbiage on it is different. And then
I'll tell you what, when we meet up for the drink, I'll explain it to you. Okay.
Thank you. I would love that because it bugs and maybe it's just the site that I'm on because I know Higgs uses Caesars and he does them really, really easily.
Yeah.
My Caesars account is empty as of right now, so I'm all BetMGM.
You tank rolled it too hard.
Fill up.
You know?
That wasn't a tank roll.
I was joking, but yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad run. Well, I had just reignited because I have William Hill in Vegas. It's not Caesars, it's William Hill. And it had been dead forever because I had got Circa, got BetMGM, got my offshore, and I'm just on this. It's all here. And then when we got sponsored by Caesars, I was like, okay, I got to fire up this account again. So I go and turn it back on. I had $35 in there from baseball futures from last season. So I was like, F&A, let's go. But it did not take long to lose $35, like at all. So
there you go.
So yeah.
Bruce talking about Ray throwing too many pitches, and he absolutely does. He's kind of back. He's not quite as wild as he was in Arizona, but he is back to his old walking ways as he's given up 2.3 walks per 9 innings. So
not a good combo, especially in Fenway.
No,
it's not a good look.
The Caesars
those guys, that guy in Fenway who caught the two when they were playing the Astros and they caught the 2 home runs. The same guy caught 2 home runs. That was awesome.
Outstanding.
Did he throw both of them back?
No, I think he kept both of them.
He kept both because Houston hit it, so I figured he would have chucked one back.
That was like a 9-1 final or something like that. They got
Uvalde tied the all-time record for most home runs allowed in a single inning.
Heyo.
Give up 5.
Nathan, come on now.
Hang on, David. I'm checking for you to make sure I put him in there.
By the way, going through some other games on the card, I am looking at the under in the Warriors game. I know that it has been a decent amount of money on the under, but now there's rumors that Luka was battling a bunch of illnesses after game 1, and now he might have a Faluka game, which,
just stop.
You got that going for you.
I love that.
Either way, I like the under anyway. Dallas has to play slow. They can't get up and run with Golden State. And Golden State scored 112 in the first game. They also shot 56% from the floor. So expect some regression there. Dallas offensively, with Luka being less than 100%, I have questions about because Golden State defensively is very solid. I think 213.5 is just too high. I like the under.
I have it at 214.
Okay, I still like the under in that.
Well,
Steve, what do you think?
I'm with you. Go ahead, guys. I'm doing one thing real quick.
Okay. Here. So I like the under there. You think it's going to be a close game, Allie? You think Golden State blows them out?
I read this stat that like anytime that Dallas comes on, okay, that's my last $10. I'm all in. Boom. I read this stat to my phone that Dallas has never. Sean Dinsmore.
Dallas awful losses like 20-5.
By the way, real quick, David, and anybody else is waiting for premiums. For whatever reason they didn't go through today, they are now officially through. You should have your premium picks available. So sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
I'm glad thank you, David, for pointing that out because that would have been a disaster for Friday night if I would not have known that. So anyway, go ahead. I'm with you guys on the under, by the way, for the Golden State game. I was impressed with the way that they were able to lock down Luka. And let me ask you this: were you surprised that they mainly had Wiggins on Luka?
No.
When Wiggins hadn't been able to stop anybody?
I'd say no, because I'm trying to think of what other options Golden State has. And Draymond is a very solid on-ball defender, but he also is willing to help in the low post. So when Luka was going to drive, they want Draymond's active hands to jump into the passing lanes, etc. But Wiggins is an athletic player on the perimeter. The issue is that sometimes he gets a little bit overzealous. Can we put it that way?
Yep.
And it seemed like he did a good job of staying in front of Luka. But I don't know if it really matters because you're asking Wiggins to pick him up full court, and they're going to send a pick, and Looney's going to end up guarding him for half of the possessions anyway. So does it really mean much to guard somebody besides just pressing them full court nowadays?
Well, no, because everybody's very adept at switches now.
I was going to say, you switch everything anyway, so you're going to get whatever matchup you want no matter what.
Yep, I totally agree. All right. Allie, give us your favorite for tonight. What do you like? Not just what Higgs likes, not just what Lenny likes. What do you like, Allie, besides hats?
Pipes.
Yeah,
I knew where that was going.
Owe me a beer. I don't know.
Okay.
I hadn't really thought about it. I'm just, like I said, I hadn't really thought about it. I'm just kind of putting everything in and then seeing what happens out of all of it. Oh, the stat that I read was Dallas is 10-0 this season after losing by 20+ points, including twice versus the Suns in the last series.
Worth mentioning both
I don't
times they
see
lost.
Dallas making a huge. I cannot bet against the Warriors at home. It is just not in me to do it. I mean, I just can't.
I had the Warriors in 6 when the series started. The more I watch these teams play, I think it's Warriors in 5. I thought Golden State was just a much better team, and Golden State, unlike Phoenix and Utah, can actually go small and play well when they go small. I don't know what Dallas's counter move is. What's their counter move? Their signature move was to go small, but Golden State's better at it.
We talked about this on the show earlier this week before this series started.
I'm saying nothing's changed.
And I brought that up about Golden State more adept at going small because they're used to playing that way anyway, especially since Weissman's been hurt, and Dallas has no counter for it. And I said this on Chris's show. Dallas could very well turn it around and make a series out of this, but until I see it, I've got to back what I saw. And I saw a Golden State team that was head and shoulders better than the Dallas Mavs.
Even when they didn't go small, the main reason why I thought they would have to is because I thought Looney would basically be unplayable in the series. And Looney was great. Looney was switched on to Luka a bunch of times. He actually was able to stay in front of him. Looney looked good. So from what I saw in game 1, it's still a long series. I really don't know what Dallas is supposed to do when defensively Looney's actually able to not get played off the court, and Golden State's better when they go small. I really don't know what counter Dallas is supposed to do besides maybe using Powell more, but Powell stinks.
You can't do that.
So I don't know what you're supposed to do.
Right. There's nothing you can do. Hey, quick THC. I was looking at THC as Rizza. Quick in-game report here. Magellan says good time to bet the Cubs plus 400. I don't hate that. I don't. It's 7-3 right now.
Got the wind blowing out. You got Arizona's bullpen. I don't mind it.
Yep, I don't hate that a bit. I think that is a good value play. All right. Well, you know what? It's that time. Allie, thanks for joining us. I hope you get your air conditioner all taken care of there. Got a big weekend planned other than meeting up for Reichel?
We'll have your people contact my people.
On Sunday, I do Sunday brunch at it's like a house music outdoor kind of a thing. So I'm doing that on Sunday for brunch.
Bottomless mimosas included or no?
I don't drink mimosas, but
really?
So I don't know.
The only place she goes all week where EDM does not stand for Edmonton.
Right? EDC's in town right now. EDC's in Vegas right now. The Electric Daisy Carnival. So you're going to see ready for this really? Show. Lots of pasties.
Okay.
Lots of feather boas, lots of angel wings, and tons of G-strings with knee-high, like
wait, when is this? This is
all
Saturday?
This weekend.
And you don't have to go to EDC to see this.
I was saying I'm showing up Sunday night, so I'm assuming
it'll be over by the time he's there.
No, it ends on Sunday night, and then they'll all leave on Monday. But you'll probably see them. Just beware. How about
on the bright side, it's not Halloween, so there's no awful cat outfits, or there shouldn't be many.
That's fair.
So it could be worse,
I'm gonna do my old man impression and say that shit gives me a headache.
I can't.
That EDM shit. No, can't do it.
I listen to house music, not EDM. Okay,
I listen to music.
I don't listen to EDM.
The deepest I went was I saw Aoki perform at Hakkasan in Vegas like 3 years ago.
Just the way that you said that made me know that you don't listen to that.
I don't. I mean, I know Aoki. I listen to some stuff. I saw Richard Sherman and George Kittle partying in like the behind the DJ booth and whatever. But yeah, it was a fun time.
Aoki used to come into the smoothie joint that I worked at.
He'd show up 3 hours late to a concert. He showed up like 2 hours late when I saw him. But
I saw Aoki a couple times and the Royals traded him. So
no.
All right, Allie. Thanks for being here.
Guys. Thank you kindly. Have a great rest of your day. Good luck, everyone.
All right. See you, Allie.
Bye.
All right. Hey, we
can't ever do that. Last time I almost ended your broadcast.
Let me push
by the way, just so you know, you can hit the X button at the top of the window.
I produce my own shows too, so I've got my own way of doing things.
All right. I'm going to hit the button. You let me see those hands. Okay. Nope. There you go.
Okay.
All right. Okay, that's what happens when you give women power. They have the same power as men. Bad things happen. All right, remember that's at Reichel Radio.
Yeah, I didn't say anything. What are you looking at me for?
All right, buddy, let's do it, man. Can we call it? Are we on a roll yet?
Oh, we've won a couple in a row. I know we had a bit of a cold spell. We bounced back nicely, but I know we didn't talk about it. But quickly, any hockey thoughts?
Hockey?
Yeah. I'm not taking the under in the Flames Oilers game. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that's pretty much a given for me as well. What do you think? What do you make of this? Talk about this game tomorrow. I like Edmonton tonight, by the way. I like Edmonton to snap back at plus money.
See, as bad as Mike Smith has been, Markstrom also sucked.
Right.
So
right. They pull them both.
Yeah, they're both pretty underwhelming. I don't mind team total overs, a bunch of goals, whatever the hell. But for the interesting game I find is the Carolina game, because Carolina got outplayed for about 50-something minutes.
Yep.
And then Carolina scored the goal with about 2.5 to go and won in overtime. I thought the Rangers played basically a perfect game for the majority, and they still lost. I like Carolina in regulation. I highly doubt the Rangers play that well defensively again.
Yep.
Give me the Hurricanes.
Of course, we said that about the Blues and Bennington too.
Well, the Blues weren't good defensively. Bennington was great. The defense actually stepped up, but from top to bottom, the Rangers played arguably their best game of the season, and they still lost. So I think Carolina wakes up offensively, scores a couple, but regulation, I don't hate it.
All right, let's do it to it, buddy. It is time, everybody. It is Friday. Time to put on those overalls, get out your straw hat, climb aboard your John Deere, and get out that lucky keychain, put them in the ignition, and fire that bad boy up, kids, because once again, it is time to bet the farm. Pretty good at the transit. Where's your hat?
I got it. I had to reach over for a sec.
Okay. There you go.
Ma'am.
Ma'am. Should we? It makes me want to keep Allie around for farm just so we can tip our caps.
Could be.
All right.
We'll keep that in mind for future Fridays.
Very good, sir. All right. Well, we do have a farm play cooked up for today, but before we do that, how'd we do yesterday, Scott?
We had Bam Adebayo under 15.5 points, and he had a lot less than 15.5 points.
He either had 5 or 6. I can't remember. I think he had 6, right?
He might have had 8 as a ceiling, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, not good. Hey, cue the banjos, would you? All right, kids. Well, there you go. It's happy banjo music for your Friday. And we got one cooked up for today, Scott. What's that bet the farm play?
So we're going to go to the Cardinals-Pirates game. I know people were talking about it, but we kept our mouth shut for good reason. We have the Cardinals first 5, -0.5 at -115 on Caesars. Wainwright pitching for the Cardinals, been very good lately. Last 2 starts, 13 innings pitched, 1.38 ERA. And Wainwright has owned the Pirates since 2019, pretty much his entire career, but especially since 2019. Wainwright is 9-0 record-wise against the Pirates. We think he'll pitch well once again. Meanwhile, you have Thompson on the mound for Pittsburgh, and his overall numbers are not great. His numbers at night, especially awful. 14 1/3 innings pitched, 6.28 ERA, and the Cardinals have dominated the head-to-head. The Cardinals are 23-5 in the last 28 meetings in Pittsburgh. -115 for the much better pitcher who owns this team. Give it to us. Cardinals should be winning at the end of 5.
All day, Adam Wainwright rolls tonight with the Cardinals, and that's going to do it for the farm, and that is going to do it for our show for this week. We appreciate you guys. As always, appreciate all the support, all the likes, all the comments, all the plays that you share with not just us, but everybody out there in the Winners and Whiners community. We appreciate each and every one of you. So you guys have a great weekend. Good luck on all your plays. Scott and I will be back with our individual plays on Saturday and Sunday, of course. We'll be back to fire this bad boy up again on Monday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, with Scott and I once again do our very best to help you guys in that journey to head back to the window. Take care, everybody. We'll see you then.